This was not a fun time of my life. It was so bad that when I had sexy time, I couldn't even finish. I kept thinking about, what have I done to my life? Coach Greg, in today's video, I'm going to be answering some of the hottest questions that you had available for me. I went through your list and I'm going to be answering the top 10 most commonly asked questions. Will masturbating or having sex affect training or building muscle? Is no-fap necessary? And so the answer is no, it's not going to affect it. It's not going to make it better. It's not going to make it worse. And no fap, no problem. You don't need to do it. And so unless you're so out of shape, perhaps you're 600 pounds and you're going on a marathon doing it for hours, there's no way it's going to have a negative effect. And if anything, perhaps it'll help you sleep better. If you have sex before bed and it relaxes you and puts you into a better night of sleep, then this could in fact enhance your gains. And so there's no reason to no fap. There's no reason to avoid having sexy time. And if you're having difficulties, got you covered. Harder than last time, code Greg, 15% off. How to balance life and gym. I feel like my training sessions affect the rest of my day, making me feel tired when I study. Any suggestions? Okay, and so I have several suggestions. If you're tired after working out, why don't you train later in the day? Think of it. If you get up and you train first thing in the morning and you're tired and sore all day, then why not just train before bed? Save your training for the end of the day. After you finish studying, after you finish going to school, go and do your workout. And if you're tired, you can then go to bed. Or perhaps you can fap or have sexy time, get you in a relaxed state, and then you can go off to sleep. That's my first suggestion. The next suggestion is perhaps you're going too hard. If you're going to the gym doing cardio and or lifting weights, it should give you more energy, not less. But if you're going harder than last time, you're pushing yourself too hard, you're overtraining, that can lead to overtraining, having no energy, not feeling good. And so please take it easy in the gym, progressive overload, take your time, and slowly over time go harder than last time. Now, one thing I've noticed, and I've coached many people of this before, and I've done it personally. Remember, I studied harder than anyone in my class at university, I had the highest GPA. When I did my cardio, when I was a school teacher and so on, I always did work while I did cardio. And so, for example, if I did 2 hours of cardio in the gym, for example, riding a bike, a treadmill, and so on, I would literally read a book while I was doing cardio. Zone 2, very easy. And so if you're a student, you can combine two things at once. Why not kill two birds with one stone? Do your cardio, read your book, do your studying, have your pen or your highlighter as you're studying. And if you're working, you're, for example, a school teacher as I was, you can correct the exams, correct your tests, and plan out your lesson plans while doing cardio. Want to know your opinion on training at home versus in the gym? I have enough dumbbells at home. Do I have to go to the gym? Also, how often should I have cheat meals? All right, first things first. Going to a real gym is better than training at home. There's more equipment. Think of it. You have all the dumbbells. Dumbbells can give you a decent workout, but obviously training with machines, barbells, squat racks, all the machines available at a gym, going to give you a far superior workout than working at home. But you don't have to go to the gym. You're still going to make perhaps 80% the same progress by training home as you do by going to the gym. Not everyone has the time to drive to the gym. It might be harder. They might not be able to afford it. And so if you're training at home, you can get almost as good a gains, but clearly not quite as much. And how often should you be having cheat meals? You should be having cheat meals every single freaking day. Every day should feel like a cheat day. And if you have my freaking cookbook and you're eating from this, every day feels like a cheat. I just had peanut butter and jam on rice cakes after eating protein ice cream. Does that sound like a healthy diet to you? But yet it is. And so why not get Cookbook 3.1 PDF or hard copy? You're going to have more cheat meals than last time. Code Greg, 15% off. Is carb cycling effective? Is calorie surplus really not necessary for building muscle? First thing first, carb cycling is useless. You don't need to do it. It's not going to matter. You can have more carbs one day, less carbs one day, the same carbs every day. What matters is calories in, calories out. If you're in a surplus, you're going to gain weight. If you're in a deficit, you're going to lose weight. Regardless if you had more calories in the morning, at night, in the afternoon, on the weekends, during the day, it doesn't matter. The Rock knows it doesn't matter. And so all you you have to do is make sure you're eating the appropriate amount of calories and you're going to lose weight. Now, as far as building muscle, you can in fact build muscle while being in a calorie deficit. All that happens in that case is the fat that's on your body can be converted to energy to help you to build muscle. So long as you're eating enough protein, your body can in fact build muscle. Now, if you're in a very large deficit, it's a lot harder to build muscle than if you're in a small calorie surplus. Just think of it. If you're dieting harder than last time, you're starving yourself, only eating twice a day, it's a lot harder to build muscle than if you're, for example, eating 4 or 5 times a day. But remember this, if you go on a bulk, especially a dirty bulk, those extra calories are not going to turn to muscle. What's going to happen is they're going to turn to fat. And so although you think you put on 20 pounds in 12 weeks, perhaps the majority of that was actually fat. And when you go to diet it off, you're going to realize that the bulk was a waste of time. And so for me personally, I'm more of a fan of consistency. For example, I'd rather see you eat a cheat meal every single day. I'd rather see you eat moderate carbs every single day than have very low carbs one day, than a cheat day with a lot of carbs another day. Because what you're doing is you're praying and you can't wait until that day you get the high carbs or that day you get a cheat day. Why not have balance, moderation, do it all the time? That to me is a smarter strategy. What do you think the biggest change is between today's fitness industry versus the one in the past during your time? I guess I'm old man Coach Greg. My past so long ago, there wasn't even the internet. And so for me, there's 2 main differences. The first one is there was no social media when I used to train. No one was going to the gym, bringing cameras, tripods, posting their workouts, and so on. You never knew what anyone looked like. And so when I went to the gym, I compared myself to the people in the gym. I compared my physique to those of my classmates. And so I felt invincible. I had the best physique. I looked incredible. I didn't have low self-esteem. I didn't have body dysmorphia because I was comparing myself to my local surroundings. Today, people look at the top 1% of the top 1%. They're scrolling through and they're seeing Chris Bumstead, the best physiques in the world, and they're thinking, I'm inferior. When I started training, I remember over 20 years ago, I started bringing a camera to the gym. Remember, a camera, not a phone, a camera. And I would videotape me bench pressing, setting records and so on to upload on a chat site. Do you even know what that is? A chat forum, think of it. I would say, look at me bench pressing all this weight. We would talk about my form techniques and so on. The next big change is back then, nobody, and I mean no one, talked about performance-enhancing drugs. You couldn't go to the gym and say, hey, what cycle are you on? Are you on trend, tests, and so on? Nobody talked about it. And so when I compare kids today to when I was training, there's a lot more pressure, a lot more incentive to use performance-enhancing drugs. One, it's more readily available. You can go on the internet, you can search SARMs, you can buy it, people are talking about it. And 2, back in the day, we didn't have pressure to compare ourselves to other people. And so why would I use steroids? I was the best built, the strongest kid. I had the most muscle in the gym. So why would I want to take steroids? Didn't need to. Didn't compare myself to anyone but myself. I get off work late. Do I train with an empty stomach or eat something before the gym? Okay, first things first, just because you're getting off work late doesn't mean you haven't eaten. I'm assuming late means after supper at some time. Now, regardless if you get off work early, late, you work in the morning, you work in the afternoon, you work at night, no one, I repeat, no one has an excuse not to eat. Nobody. I don't care if your boss says you can't eat. Are you allowed to go to the bathroom? Because while you're going and taking a shit, you can eat a freaking Seco bar while you're pooping on the toilet. And so stop making excuses. I didn't have time to eat. You are too stupid to realize you can make time to eat. And so if you perform better with food in your stomach, eat a Seco bar. You can eat an apple, a banana, a sandwich. These are simple choices. And so if you don't want to train on an empty stomach, eat. If you like training on an empty stomach, don't eat. It's that simple. What training advice do you have to people who have a herniated disc? Here's what I suggest. You train around it. First thing you can do is try to lose weight. If you have a herniated disc and you have a big belly, the bigger the belly, the more it's going to make you arch your back. If your belly is here, fine, no problem. If your belly is there, it's going to make you compensate. You're going to lean back to compensate from your protruding abdomen. And so if you lose weight, you're going to have less pressure, less stress on the joint, going to make it a lot easier. And so if I were you, I would train around the injury. If squats and deadlifts hurt, then do, for example, leg press, leg extension, lat pull downs, and so on. Many people say you look like Derek Lunsford and Rafael Brando. Are you guys related? Well, the answer is yes. What a prince to a king! He is son. Under what lighting can you tell your true body fat level the The best lighting possible is natural lighting. And so the light coming from outside, if you're standing near a window and you have a mirror in front of you and you have the natural light from the sun shining in on your skin and you're flexing, doing your best to show off your best physique, that is the easiest way to tell your body fat percentage. If you have poor lighting and you're not flexing, you're not showing off your physique to your best account, it's very difficult to see your body fat percentage. And remember, good lighting, natural lighting doesn't mean it's enhancing physique. It's showing what you actually have. Some people are saying, oh, I look good, but it's only because of the lighting. No, the lighting is showing your own physique. The only reason you don't look as good is because sometimes you have bad lighting. See, I'd rather when I'm looking at a physique, see the glass is half full than half empty. Coach Greg, did you have hardships in your life? If so, how did you overcome it? What is your life motto? Everyone has hardships. Every single person out there has had times that were easier, times that were difficult. For me, I would say the hardest time was probably when I was arrested for selling steroids, when I was on 20 months house arrest. Most of my friends deserted me. I was getting death threats. I'd walk around with a baseball bat, had post-traumatic stress disorder. This was not a fun time of my life. It was so bad that when I had sexy time, I couldn't even finish. I kept thinking about, what have I done to my life? How shitty is this? I was living in an apartment building. I had a cardboard box as a table, had no money, had nothing to my name. And what did I do? I never gave up. I always had the confidence that I could improve from where I was. And so what is my motto? To try harder than last time. Whatever it is in your life, whether it's the gym, your relationship, studying in school, your job, your health, everything, keep trying. Never give up. And so from that point, perhaps many people would have given up. I became the best coach that I could. I went to YouTube, made more videos telling people how to lose weight, keep it off for the rest of your life. Eventually, I got more popular, did more coaching, wrote books. And so because of those hardships, I believe it helped me to be the person I am today. Had I not gone through those hardships, I wouldn't have known that I could overcome them. And so for me, having true confidence is not in your ability to do something, but your ability to overcome and come back yet again. No matter what happens to you, you might get taken down, but you will get up, rise to the challenge, and overcome it. And so once you've failed at something a number of times, and you've gotten back up, dusted yourself off, and been successful, you know that no matter what life throws at you, no matter what shit people say about you, no matter how people treat you, you know that you can overcome it. And so the knowledge that no matter what happens, you can overcome it, you can withstand what life throws at you, that is where true confidence comes from. And so if you've made it this far, I'm going to remind you that you can buy my freaking cookbook. You can buy supplements like the Seco protein bars, the Turk Builders back in stock, GO2 Max, G-Test, pre-workouts, creatines, 50% off, all kinds of supplements. Head over to my website. If you have no money, got a free diet and training program, get over there faster than last time. Don't forget, code Greg, 15% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, watch one of those two loops, at least one. Also have coaching plans by me and my team. And until next time, I am out.